Hello my friends of Cosmic Agency, I'm Gosha of course, and just a short video. I was thinking yesterday about the live that we did with Yaski, about Mari's SWARUU coronation, and about Alenym in the pod right now, sick. And I feel like I haven't properly expressed my sadness and my compassion towards Alenym herself and her closed ones. We have been so, emotional about Mari's SWARUU coronation and Yaski then announcing the Mari's SWARUU coronation, and of course it's very deserved and I'm very happy, and hello to Mari of course. But I want to take a step back and perhaps express some of my compassion towards Alenym, because what happened here maybe hasn't impacted me right away the way it should have, and there are different reasons for it. First, well, like I said, it was my life and Yaski came, it became all very emotional. We talked about Mari coronation and everything, and I feel like I haven't given enough time to express my love towards Alenym and a worry for what has happened. And of course that's not Yaski's fault. don't say that. Of course we are all happy for Mari, of course. However, let's take a step back and let's just focus on Alenym a little bit, because what has happened here, well, another reason why it hasn't perhaps impacted me as some of you from what I saw, well, it has, but we have been on this journey with them for a while, and there are always things happening, and they still do, up and down. We have been always saying that this is not just the contact to pass the information to the people or anything like that, but there is friendship and there is stories, and some of them are difficult, some of them are happy. There has been a little bit of everything in the past 6 years, so we have grown accustomed to some of these even more drastic events. And also we have known for a while, for a very long time, that Alenym has been in the eye of her enemies for a long time. That's why actually one of the reasons why they have been so careful about selecting the new crew members, and why they have decided to stay with the 30-member crew for many years, for a few years. So we have been kind of growing accustomed to all these different situations and events and ups and downs. And also remember, we have had deaths as well. SWARUU and Aneka had their dramatic exits. So we have been, it's not a surprise to me, in other words, that this has happened with Alenym. I was even worried when they announced that the new Taigetans will be coming from Taigetan. I'm not saying that one of those Taigetans is to blame. We don't know yet, the investigation is still happening, so no need to speculate, but I was worried because I knew how careful and vigilant they were about Alenym. The same happened with her not going to Viera to sign those federation papers when they were called to come in physically, personally to Viera to sign the papers to do with the distribution of funds. And that never happened before. She never was requested to come in there personally. It was always remote or other methods. But here she was requested physically, so she denied, and that's actually one of the reasons, if not the main reason, why they're cut. Well, it is the reason why their funds were cut, and why now everything depends on Mari with this regard. So also from my part, thank you for your contribution here, because the situation has been difficult for them, and for a while the Federation has been making things very difficult especially. So we have known for a while that Alenym is in danger, so that's why I wasn't surprised when this happened. However, this doesn't take away from the seriousness of the situation and sadness, because I can only imagine what she had to go through. Like anytime I have, just talking physically, anytime I have a physical problem, I'm very bad with pain. I shouldn't be saying this. I am making myself now vulnerable. Well, whatever. But yeah, I don't handle well, especially stomach problems. So I can't imagine what she had to go through that just on a physical level, and then, emotionally, etc. And also her partner. Now, I don't know if we said that. I don't remember, so I don't want to create problems here. So I'm not going to say the name of her male partner, of course. But it must be very difficult for him as well. He is very fond of Alenym, of course. So I remember when we asked him, he was one of the ones we talked to, and when we asked, what do you do in your free time? He said, I spend time with Alenym. So I know he loves her very much. Also, it had to be very difficult, and still is, for Naishara herself. She had problems as well, muscular problems, muscular pains. I'm glad that you're okay, Naishara. Sending you lots of love, and thank you to Senetre. She has had her hands full with the situation, and others, always something happening, and she's the only one. She's the only one fully trained as a surgeon, as a doctor here. So thank you very much, Senetre, and lots of love also to Alenym's, I don't know what to say, partner, boyfriend, husband, no, because they don't have marriages, life partner. Also, for those of you who are like thinking, all these stories, like, okay, what is this, dramatic story happening? I had a chance to actually talk about this in my Spanish channel recently, in the video, in the parody kind of a video that we made, that we are a sect, right? So we were responding to some of the most common arguments out there that have been happening. I haven't done this video in English because I didn't feel it was important. Anyway, one of those supposed arguments is that, this is soap operas story. Well, okay, and this is what I said. So I'm going to say this here in English. I will not repeat this in Spanish. If we claim that we are ready, right, that we want and yearn for this closeness with the stellar star races, families, and, be open to that interstellar existence, well, it's not just learning about free energy. It's not just receiving the technologies. It's also actually, most importantly, welcoming them and them welcoming us as people, as families. That means welcoming their stories, getting to know them. This is their life. This is what happens on their ship. Enough of just looking at the starships, at the UFOs, sightseeing, analyzing what's in the lights in the sky, but actually what's happening on those starships. They are people. There are actually people there operating and living there with their lives, with their dramas, with their stories. So I'm very grateful that Mari took charge here in presenting and sharing some of their stories. They're also making themselves vulnerable this way too. They're opening themselves to share with you what goes on, their problems, and that's very brave of them as well. So welcome them, welcome the stories, appreciate them, because, like I said again, if that's what we want, the true brotherness and intimacy and this interstellar future, well, they will be welcoming our life stories, and we should be returning the same, welcoming their life stories and welcoming them as people, as our friends, right? You don't want from your friends just something because it serves you, like MedPod technologies. You also want to be there for them and listen and share and be their friend. We want to be their friends, right? Not just receivers of technologies and information. So that's just that I wanted to share. Lots of love again to Alenym. She's very special. Every time we had the opportunity to talk to her, which actually hasn't happened for some time, which I understand, she's very busy, of course, but of course I miss her. We have never been super close. She, like I said, very busy, always coming in, usually with Naishara when there was something important to discuss. As you will see in Yasuki's video, she was there sharing her concerns and thoughts about Yasuki. But it has been a while since we spoke. But every time we spoke, she always emitted when we spoke this presence, the elegance, the calmness, tranquility, wisdom, precision, clarity, lots of things. And she is someone very special. So let's send her a lot of love and let's get her out of that pod as soon as possible, all healed. Thank you very, very much for watching. Greetings to everybody on the ships, multiple ships. And until the next video, of course. See you soon.